Mike Papantonio, my good friend, with us here today on the program. Mike, I was indisposed last night. I was not able to see the right-wing nut job carnival number 5.
Yeah.
Give me an update. What did I miss?
Quick rundown is, Ed, it comes down to this. We see a continuation of the same thing we've seen before. That is the new definition of the Republican Party. You have if you recall, you remember them coming to their feet and when we talked about killing people in Texas by execution, they clapped about that. You remember the issue coming up about whether or not a man who's dying of cancer should have the right to have health care. We saw them clap about that in one of the debates. So tonight, I mean, in this debate, what you saw them now booing a soldier who was talking about the idea of the whole gay rights issue. I mean, he's obviously a gay soldier. He's served his time in Iraq. He's done something that neither Rick Santorum or any of the people on that stage have done. And when he talked about, look, I'm grateful that you care enough about soldiers to be able to say that we ought to have, that we ought to be at least have the right to say who we are. Well, when that happened, the crowd booed. And what you see is a continuation of what the Republican Party stands for right now. And I think that's the important thing about that debate. Now, if you're Republican and you're just trying to figure out who won, Mitt Romney is threatening. Let's hear
we got a sound clip here of the crowd booing that gay soldier. Here it is.
In 2010, when I was deployed to Iraq, I had to lie about who I was because I'm a gay soldier, and I didn't want to lose my job. My question is, under one of your presidencies, do you intend to circumvent the progress that's been made for gay and lesbian soldiers in the military?
Yeah, I would say any type of sexual activity has absolutely no place in the military.
In any type?
Yeah.
Wants them to be zombies, I guess.
Well, the point to me about all that, Ed, is we start seeing who's in charge of this party. I can tell you something. Even Ronald Reagan years, you would have had people showing a soldier who's been over there to fight. You realize these people didn't even thank this soldier, Ed. I don't care what I don't care what he is. He's been over there carrying a gun to fight for these cats, to fight for the corporations that they're all about. They're buddy corporations. He's over there doing it. Not one damn person on that stage is, and he doesn't have the decency. Santorum doesn't have the decency to say thank you before he starts his fight. This is a party that's being defined more and more. We saw they want to kill people. They want to execute people. Doesn't make any difference whether it's Davis in Georgia. Doesn't make any difference. They want to kill people. They don't want. They don't care if a person dies because he doesn't have insurance. Those are the things they clap about. It's a party that wants to give more money to millionaires in this expectation that poor people are going to be better off. It's a party where religion has taken over good common sense. All of them say we ought to teach creationism in our schools, that global warming doesn't exist, and if it does exist, God's going to take care of us anyway. He's going to change all that. Government is bad because it's run by incompetent bureaucrats, which is just simply code words for saying minorities people who can't get a job are the people running our government. Government is only there for union labor and liberal causes to shelter the benefits of lazy minorities. All this is code word. All of it is code word, Ed. We're seeing the new code word is that capitalism unregulated will be better for this idea that a lot of them have, that even though they have never accomplished anything in their life, have never accomplished a damn thing in their life, they believe they're going to be millionaires. They think they're going to be millionaires. It's this Horatio Alger idea. So let's give billionaires as much money as we can. Let's not tax billionaires because I'm going to be a billionaire someday. I don't know if you saw this. 35% of Americans who are living on Social Security believe they're going to be millionaires someday. And so you got this party that more and more, every debate, we start seeing what they're about. If we can return to the good old days, life's going to be better. In their minds, the good old days was a time when women stayed at home. They didn't have jobs. While kids went to white kids went to white schools, black kids went to black schools. America wasn't turning brown at all. This America that they have is an America of 70 years ago. And I can tell you, it wasn't the good old days at all. But I thought that's what I saw last night. What I saw was them continuing to define who they are. And right now, Perry's in trouble. 4 weeks ago, I'd have said he's the guy.
Why?
But,
you think he's in trouble now?
Well, Ed, let me just tell you something. To show you how what a goof this guy is. He was trying to go through this comparison of how Romney has flip-flopped. He was almost incoherent. He was struggling for words. He was struggling for ideas. You can tell at points he didn't even know what the end of the sentence was. And so you had Perry come out and say, look, I don't know if you caught this. Perry said that he'd pick a running mate. His running mate would be Herman Cain, and he'd match him up with former Speakhouser, with Newt Gingrich. And so there was so much crazy talk on the stage that even Mitt Romney said, wait, let me get this image out of my head. You want to match Herman Cain up with Newt Gingrich as a ticket. And Romney said, look, I just can't get that out of my mind. I can't even get that image out of my mind. So it was a weird burn down in a lot of ways. But the guy that came out was Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is ignoring the fact right now, Ed, that currently, as we speak, 18% of Republicans, 18% say that they would never vote for a party nominee if they were Mormon. Now, that's not much different than the last time they were asked. Back in 1967, I think it was 22% said that they would. There's no way that they're going to vote for a Mormon. Yeah. But Romney thinks he's overcoming that. As I watch him, he's picking up steam. He'll
never win the South.
He will never win the South.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
And I think the radicals will make that point. And I think that South Carolina is going to be won by Perry. South Carolina will not be won by Romney.
No way.
And if Perry just shows well in New Hampshire, if he shows well in maybe second or third in Iowa, and he might win Iowa, you never know, he'll waltz.
He's still up 6-7 points in Florida. That gives you an idea. Yeah, and it's the Mormon card.
Yeah, and now this is after the attack that Romney has made when it comes to Ponzi scheme and all this stuff. You see, Perry has enough money to get the messaging out that he's not going to hit your Social Security for years to come, but he is going to reform the system, and he's going to talk to the 20 and 30-somethings who are struggling in this economy, and he's going to appeal to them saying, you're getting ripped off, and you're not going to get ripped off if I'm president.
Mm-hmm. That's very succinct.
That's where he's going to go, and that's what he meant the night that the first night that when he made that. And look, Romney's a privatizer. Romney's one of these corporate jugheads that goes in and rips up companies, throws jobs overseas, runs it to the bottom line, and says, "Look how great I am." He's a silver spooner. He tried to pass himself off the other day as a middle classer.
I saw that.
I mean, these guys. I mean, they don't stop.
Ed, I thought, excuse me.
Go ahead.
No, I thought one interesting thing is the first question that they took about the idea of immigration was from a hate group. Honest to God. It's called the Federation, something like Federation for American Immigration Reform. It's called FAIR. Now, the thing about FAIR, Southern Poverty Law Center, years ago put them on the list as a hate group. Anybody who understood Kristen Williamson is the head of FAIR. They know this is a white supremacist organization that says that they're all about immigration reform. Well, no, they go a lot further than that. But understand this: the Republicans looked at this question. They said, this is the person we want asking the question. And that's where this, that's what this party's become. I mean, they don't mind who they're associating with, and it's getting uglier and uglier with every debate.
Good to have you with us, Mike. Have a great weekend. We'll hook up again next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ed.
Mike Papantonio, host of the Ring of Fire radio show. You'll hear him on weekends on progressive talk stations across America. Great fan of this program and mine for sure.